And a very good Saturday morning, afternoon, evening to you, the whenever Saturday podcast with me, your host, Andy Pollack. Let's get to our sponsors first. Now, we talk about how expensive it is to be a WWE fan. You got to worry about paying for Netflix, but then you got to worry about how you're going to watch NXT on Tuesdays. I don't know, going to, I guess, YouTube TV is like the main way to watch the CW. Maybe Hulu Live, DirecTV Stream, right? You gotta pay for that. Also gotta pay for that to watch, of course, a way to have SmackDown USA on Friday nights, right? And of course, some of these services don't even have the ESPN streaming service linked yet. Like YouTube TV, for an example, right? You're paying for that. Or again, you're outrageously paying these other services, right? But what if I told you you could watch everything on Netflix? And that's Proton VPN. For just $9.99 a month with the VPN Plus plan, you get high VPN speeds. You can secure up to 10 devices at a time, 1,500 servers in 120 countries. Block ads, trackers, and malware, priority support, and live chat. Again, using your Netflix account, you can watch not only Raw on Mondays, but NXT on Tuesdays, Friday Night SmackDown on Fridays, every single WWE Premium Live event, which will include in April, NXT Stand and Deliver on Saturday, April 4th, WrestleMania 42 from Las Vegas on April 18th and 19th. Will also be available on Netflix as long as you use Proton VPN. So what are you waiting for? If you sign up for the 2-year plan, it is $71.76 for 24 months. So that's 2 years. What are you waiting for? If you're trying to save money and, of course, cut the savings of being a WWE fan, visit ProtonVPN.com. So now we move on to tax season. Who in Long Island is qualified to file your taxes? And I know my dad visited him just last week. Michael Longobardi and Associates for over 25 plus years. Mike and his associates have been offering bookkeeping for businesses, financial planning, financial statements, payroll services, business tax returns, tax planning, and of course, individual tax planning, which of course, Mike, being a certified public accountant himself, can help you file your 2025 tax returns. So go check Michael out. He's at 9A Vernon Street, downtown Floral Park, right on the corner of Tulip Avenue. Now we're going to talk about heat in your car. Now last week we were talking about the weather was getting warmer, which, by the way, it did hit 80 degrees, and I was actually out in Bryant Park on Tuesday this week. But, yeah. It was warm. It was the perfect time to see if your car's air conditioner was working, getting it ready for the summer months, right? So now it's going to get cold this week, right? It's going to get cold. So who can help you fix your heat in your car? Well, go check out Pete the Car Doctor and his specialist Elvis. Yes, so if you need help wondering, is my heat still working because it's going to be very cold this week. I don't want to be cold driving my car this week. Pete's the guy that can handle it. If you're having issue with your brake pads, your brakes aren't working, Pete can do that. If you need new tires, a tire change, Pete can do it. Having issue with your transmission, need an oil change, engine issues, anything that you need, Pete can do it. So if you want anything solved with your car, and by the way, he also can do, I forgot to mention, he's also certified in New York State car inspections. Elvis is certified in it too. Pete's the guy to... and of course Elvis too. Don't forget about Elvis. Pete and Elvis can handle all of that. The gold standard of automotive maintenance. Yes, Pete's been slammering me for not reading the script accurately. So Pete, I'm sorry if I have not been reading this part correctly. Yes, the gold standard of automobile maintenance in Nassau County. Go check out Pete, the car doctor, and his specialist elevates Pete's Auto Care, 194 Horton Avenue in Limbrook. And last but not least, obviously the Islanders are finally back at home at UBS Arena. Do you need a bite to eat before the game? Go check out Stop 20 Diner in Elmont. So if you want breakfast for lunch, breakfast for dinner, dinner for breakfast, whatever you want, right? Because they're open very odd hours of the day. And by the way, the Andes randomness favorability, please eat the brownie. It really tastes good. If you want a dessert, get the brownie. Just trust me. It's worth the extra couple of dollars, but yes. Go check out the Stop 20 Diner. Perfect for kids as well. They have an expansive children's menu. So again, if you're going to the Islander game tonight, go check them out. 1336 Hempstead Turnpike in Elmont. All right. So we're going to do 3 subjects this week. I wanted to call out Mayor Mamdani again this week because I'm disgusted on who he should have been having dinner with at Gracie Mansion this week. We're going to talk about the Jets and why I think they're taking a risk bringing back Geno Smith. And like I talked about last week, we are going to preview the 98th Annual Academy Award, the Oscars. So we'll get into all that. And I'll talk about why people should just not really focus on the criticism of Timothée Chalamet. But before we get into all that, I just want to acknowledge, if you have not heard by now, very sad news that came out on Thursday night. We were all shocked about this news. Longtime TV anchorman Ernie Anastos passed away on Thursday night from pneumonia at the age of 82, which caught a lot of people off guard. Nobody expected this news to come out. Obviously, again, Ernie was 82 years old. The New York Post yesterday was reporting that his wake is taking place today and tomorrow up in Westchester. And then this upcoming Monday, on the 16th, will be his funeral, also up in Westchester. Now, that's where he did pass away at the hospital up in Valhalla. Very beautiful Northwell facility, by the way. Just preference. I'm sorry, I work at LIJ. I mean, of course, I'm going to mention any fellow hospital within the Northwell system, but as far as Ernie is concerned, and I want to give some thoughts on his passing, there was no other beautiful human being than Ernie. And what I mean by that is he was so positive. You know, whenever my memories of Ernie are from like the 2000s and the 2010s when I got older. I used to remember on Friday nights on a weekend, because, you know, I couldn't stay up late in school, right? But I remembered the Friday nights when I would be allowed to stay up late. My parents would let me in my teenage years when I was still going to Gersh Academy. I remembered on Friday night I would get so excited. I would want to watch the 10 p.m. news on Channel 5 because Ernie. And I remember the good old day. Oh, man, the current Fox 5 news graphics, they're terrible. I hate them. I cannot watch. Ever since Ernie left Channel 5, I just couldn't watch anymore. I think he left in like 2019 or 2020, something like that. But, yeah, I mean, Ernie was always smiling, and he was with Rosanna Scotto, and then they moved Rosanna Scotto to Good Day, New York, right? So, yeah, I am shocked, and there's a lot of other people who are just as shocked about this news as well. A lot of Ernie's colleagues that he worked with they were saying that Ernie was relatively healthy a couple of weeks ago. So this caught them completely off guard. So it was just shocking and stunning, to say the least. Again, we know he worked at Channel 7 to begin his earlier part of his career when he came to New York from Michigan back in the 1970s, right? So he was with Channel 7 from, I think it was 1978 till 1989. When Ernie was with Channel 7, two notable, he had, I forget who the other lady was, because again, I'm not familiar with it as much, but he had three notable co-anchors that he worked with at Channel 7. Two of them were female. One I know very well, who currently works at Channel 11, Kaidi Tong, who is the weekend news lady who does the 5 p.m. newscast. I know Kaidi very well because she always is on like right after the Mets on a Sunday afternoon game on Fix 11. But yeah, so he worked with Kaidi. I know at one point he did work with Bill Beutel, Ernie Anastos. I don't think he ever worked with Roger Grimsby. No, not that. When I was looking at the obituaries, there was nothing mentioned about Roger, obviously, yeah, Ernie left to go to CBS 2, right? So he was with CBS 2 for a while. Then he went to Channel 9, when Channel 9 still had newscast, right? Then he came back to Channel 2. Ernie's had a very interesting career where he's covered the Mets winning the World Series, 1986. He's obviously covered other sporting events. When the Rangers won the Cup in 94, Ernie got to see the Giants win the Super Bowl 4 times, so there was that. The Yankees winning. But Ernie was on the air the night the Mets did win the 86 World Series. There is a video of that here on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, I recommend it because, you know, he was right there sitting next to Kaidi live when Game 7 and the Mets beat the Boston Red Sox. But Ernie was also known for covering the blackout of 2003, 9/11 obviously on CBS 2. And when Ernie joined Fox 5 in 2005, I think it was like one of the largest TV contracts in New York broadcasting history. I mean, Ernie won a lot of awards, a lot of Emmys. He was inducted into the New York State Broadcasters Hall of Fame, obviously, for his work that he did over the years. So, thoughts obviously go out to his family and friends, his colleagues, obviously, who he worked with at Channel 2, Channel 5, and of course, Channel 7 and Channel 9. Apparently, Ernie also owned a lot of stations up in Albany a couple of years ago, but then he sold them off. I know his daughter was running the stations too. So, and I will mention, if you're here in the New York area and you go to like a lot of Greek diners, you might have saw Ernie's picture. I know I've seen his picture before in a couple of the diners. He would give autographs and one thing that I did find out about Ernie recently after his passing, he was close with the family who owns the Embassy Diner and the Okanoki Diner out in Long Island, because you know it's the whole Greek connection. So I'm sure Gus is devastated about this news, and again, I'm sure a lot of other people are. Again, I'm devastated. I mean, again, I didn't think this would happen because Ernie, most recently, Ernie was doing a radio show on 77 WABC. See, the good thing is Ernie did not bash anybody during the last mayoral election. In fact, Ernie was so neutral. He didn't care if you were a socialist or a capitalist or whatever, right? Ernie was just so positive. Like, there was nothing negative about Ernie. There really wasn't. That's why he had a show called Positively Ernie. And Ernie was always giving positivity. You know, again, I don't know if there'll be another incredible human being like Ernie ever again. I mean, you know, I'm thinking of all the greats that have passed away in journalism, you know. I mean, obviously we don't have Roger anymore. Bill Buell passed away a while back. We know Peter Jennings passed a while back, and we know Walter Cronkite did. So now Ernie's going to go up above. He's going to join them up in the sky, I guess. The man upstairs is going to open the gate because Ernie was just that positive. So, again, thoughts and prayers. The family is grieving right now. I know the wake is supposed to be public today. Again, I don't know where it is because all the New York Post said yesterday was the wake was going to be open to the public today and tomorrow. So that way his fans could obviously grieve with the family, obviously, and a couple of, you know, again, friends, news colleagues that he worked with over the years. And then the funeral on Monday is going to be a private event, which I know I don't want to make it sound somber, but the weather on Monday is kind of unfortunately fitting for the funeral, knowing that it is going to rain on Monday. So, yeah, Ernie, we're going to miss you. You were really an incredible person, and that's where I'm going to leave it off. All right. So now let's get back to the agenda. Let's get into why Zoran Mamdani might be an awful human being. So from a positive human being to a negative human being, let's call out the mayor. And oh boy, do I got an issue with the mayor this week. Now, I want to talk about, obviously, and I talked about it in front of the 111 on Monday, denouncing the Islamic terrorists that detonated a bomb almost outside of Gracie Mansion. Now, for immortality, Aaron Edwards, Chief Aaron Edwards from the NYPD, and he was on the cover of the New York Post this week. Saving Gracie was the headline. And I know the mayor might have brought him up, but what really disgusts me, and also Sergeant Luis Navarro, Chief Edwards jumped over a security gate, tried to tackle the two Islamic thugs, right? Islamic terrorist thugs, excuse me. I got to be politically correct here. Right? Tackled him to the ground along with the, again, plainclothes blue cops, the blue shirt cops, the community affair officers, right? Here's what gets me so disgusted with Mayor Mamdani. So instead of inviting the two officers who saved Gracie Mansion, Aaron Edwards and Sergeant Luis Navarro from the NYPD, guess who the mayor has dinner with this week? Back on Monday night. And I was shocked to find out about this when I was trying to do my errands in Nassau County first before I went into Manhattan on Tuesday. Guess what I found out? He has dinner. The mayor has dinner with the anti-Semite Mahmoud Khalil. You have to say it this way. Mahmoud. Oh my God. This guy Mahmoud Khalil should be deported for making very anti-Semitic comments. I don't know why this guy has not been deported yet. I mean, imagine if I came to the United States and I made some very disgusting comments about Christians or Jewish people or even Muslims, right? I wasn't naturally born here. And I was saying that type of stuff. I mean, come on. I don't know why this guy Mahmoud Khalil has not been deported yet. I mean, really. Zoran the moron. Yes, that's what he is. Or as Bo Dietl calls him. He calls him Zoran Mamdani. That's what he calls him. Why is he having dinner with Mahmoud Khalil? Oh my God. I mean, personally myself, to Chief Edwards and Sergeant Navarro, I mean, thank you for your service. I mean, you are heroes. You really, really are. I mean, if I was the mayor, believe me, I would have wanted to have dinner with them. I would have. If they say Gracie Mansion for me, you know I would have wanted to have dinner with them. And probably on Tuesday, I would have gone out of my way to let them walk in College Shores Park with me. You know, a nice, calm, peaceful walk talking about, you know, what I could do as mayor to increase the funding to the NYPD. You know, hear their thoughts on what could make the NYPD a better place to work. You know, whatever. You know, I would have wanted to spend time with these guys. But instead, the mayor shows his true colors. He's only with Jessica Tisch for show. That's what he's doing. I don't know how Jessica puts up with this. So yeah, that's our mayor. He shows his true colors. I mean, come on. I don't want to call the mayor other hurtful names because then that could get me canceled. Because believe me, I mean, this mayor, I mean, I already knew he was going to be a disaster. And now he shows his true colors. And believe me, when that budget is due in a couple of weeks, you know, I'm going to tear into this mayor. Because, so far, how have things gone for the past couple of months? Let me think. We couldn't handle the snow removal back in January. That was a disaster. Now, at least this time around, the snow removal was a lot better. I guess because people kept calling 311 to complain. And somebody told Zoran, the 311 complaints were out of hand the last time. Do something better. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. Oh, yeah. But so far, I mean, he wants to raise property taxes. He wants to do this and that. I mean, come on. Already, he's proven to be a disastrous mayor. Think about how things have... I mean, they don't want to tell you how bad the crime is getting, but... What happened to Vision Zero? We've had people getting hit by cars, drivers just fleeing the scene. That's been going on. Shootings are up in the Bronx. Overall crime is up in the Bronx, for an example. This is what they don't want to tell you in Queens. But especially in my area, not just Fresh Meadows, but Bayside, Douglaston, Little Neck, parts of Flushing, even Whitestone. I guess to an extent College Point too. Package thefts are up. That's a category that's not really being porch thieves. They're just taking packages. You know how many police reports have been filed since the new mayor came in? Nobody wants to talk about that. So, yeah, what a disaster this guy Zoran Mamdani is. I mean, and again, if he decides to cut any funding from the NYPD, you know I'm going to tear him up. Don't think I'm going to go silent if Zoran is taking money away from the NYPD, because he might. I warned everybody about this months ago. And it's not going to get me riled up, but it's going to get Bo Dietl riled up too. just warning you now, you're going to hear from Bo Dietl. You're going to hear from Terry Monahan. I'm thinking, like, what former high-profile NYPD people are going to speak out? Because I'm thinking they're probably going to denounce the police budget getting cut. I know in a month from now we're going to have to talk about it. Once the city council has to approve the budget. I mean, our only saving grace might be the city council speaker. I mean, so far, that's the only positive I'll say. I like Julie Menon so far. I think she's been the voice of reason. Because she is a capitalist. Because remember, in her city council district, they're landlords that have to pay property taxes in these apartment buildings in Manhattan. So, I'm impressed by her so far, but we'll see. I mean, if she approves any NYPD budget cuts, I'm going to denounce her too. So I don't want to get into it anymore. I'm just disgusted. You better watch your back if you're here in New York City. That's all I'm going to say. Just be careful. See, I don't know who's worse right now, de Blasio or Mamdani. I really can't say right now. Anyhow, let's get to the Jets. This has been a very eventful week for the Jets. So they've made a couple big acquisitions this week. First, earlier this week, they're starting to improve their defensive line. They get Minkah Fitzpatrick. The Miami Dolphins just cut him. Now he's coming. Actually, no, I think we traded for him, right? So we made a trade with Miami. We're going to get Minkah. We're not really giving up that much for Minkah. So that's good. Darren Muji is now doing the right thing here. So, Darren, thank you. Now, as far as the quarterback situation, we're running it back. It's not Justin Fields. It's not Tyron Taylor. No. We're running it way farther back. And they're going to bring back Geno Smith. Okay. Geno Smith? You're not really giving up that much for him. This is a stopgap quarterback year. Apparently, also this week, the Jets got a backup quarterback named Bailey Zappi. Alright, so if Geno Smith ends up being an epic fail, which probably he will, maybe he'll prove us wrong this year. But Bailey Zappi is an option. Okay. I'm willing to take another season. And I've been saying this to everybody, that if the Jets give you another bad year, which most likely will happen, even with Minkah joining and even rebuilding the defensive line this year, no matter where the Jets are going to be, I would assume next year there'll be a 1, a 2, or a 3 in the 2027 draft. Maybe even, I'm trying to think, right. No, there are only 3 quarterbacks I can think of right now. I'm thinking if the Jets are going to go quarterback next year, again, you're going to have Arch Manning from Texas. You're going to have, who are you going to have? Right. You'll have Trinidad Shameless from Ole Miss. He'll likely be NFL ready next year. And then, like we talked about with Dante Moore at Oregon, right? The Jets are in a better position next year. So if they tank the season this year, which most likely they will, I would think things could go bad where Aaron Glenn gets fired, Ryan Ulrich becomes the new offensive coordinator, probably will be the coach. I think that'll probably happen. So I don't want to put my expectations too high on the Jets. It's going to be the same old Jets. Might as well. I mean, tank the season. Maybe we get the franchise QB next year. Or I don't know. I mean, maybe Geno gets lucky. Maybe he has a good year. Maybe things go well. Maybe he talks about, oh, I'm going to make a comeback in New York. I mean, he did play well in Seattle. But then again, another Jet quarterback, Sam Darnold, just won the Super Bowl with the Seahawks recently. So we'll see what happens. But I'll see what the draft entails. We'll preview it in April, and we'll go into why the Jets got to rebuild the defensive line. So, all right. Last but not least, let's get to the Oscars. All right. So the Oscars are tomorrow. Finally, right? Second time for Conan O'Brien that he'll be hosting. Now, the movie Sinners has the most amount of nominations, 16 in total. All right. Now, there's been some controversy with Timothée Chalamet. Now, if you're not aware of what Timothée Chalamet said recently, Timothée Chalamet was doing an interview with Matthew McConaughey, and he was criticizing opera and ballet. And he claimed that no one cares about the art form of ballet and opera. And as a result, this might have cost him his role to win Best Actor tomorrow for his role in Marty Supreme. And this is something interesting. Sarah Haynes on The View back on Monday was saying, oh, the Chalamet family, his grandmother, mother, and sister, all danced with the New York City Ballet. And I'm going to read a quote, what Whoopi Goldberg said on The View. Quote, when you crap on somebody else's art form, it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't feel good to see. Again, this is what I'm reading, an article on People magazine. So, think about it. It when you're making comments like that, I mean, ballet and opera, and Timothée should know this, okay? He's from New York. Come on, we got Carnegie Hall, Lincoln Center, right? I think maybe there have been some ballet shows or opera shows at Radio City before. I mean, it's the fabric of the New York City quality of life. How could Timothée say something like that? Oh. And by the way, I know some people. I kind of have some connections to a couple of the governors, the people who make the decisions at the Oscars. I'm not going to say how, but when they heard this news, when they found out about this, right? They were investigating it, right? And this was right after the SAG-AFTRA Awards. By the way, the Actor Awards. Come on, SAG. Why'd you have to rebrand it? I don't want to get into that discussion, but when they found out about this interview, rumblings started to go around that now there is a chance tomorrow night Michael B. Jordan could win his first Academy Award for playing the two brothers in Sinners. Because Michael, right? And this is very important to note that. Michael played two roles as the Moore brothers, Smoke and then stack. Okay? So, that's a big deal. Okay? Want to mention that. Now, I would think he'll win. They're now saying Leonardo DiCaprio might win for his role in one battle after another, but I just don't see it. I just don't. No. So I think tomorrow, I think definitely in the costume category, you'll see Sinners win. I think it will go to, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of stuff about Hamnet. There's a good chance it might win Best Picture over Sinners. Been some favorability over that. Hearing rumblings about it. Could happen. Because Jessie Buckley might win for her role as Agnes Shakespeare. Or if not, I've been hearing could be Manali Ravizzi in Sentimental Value, Emma Stone in Begonia. Now, Begonia, everybody's fascinated about, the one scene where Emma Stone complains about her hair being shaved off. Oh, God, I mean, what's up with these creepy films, man? Why does the Academy look into it? It's like Silence of the Lambs. It puts the lotion on its face or else it gets the hose. Oh, my God. Why? I just don't get it. I would think if I were to pick somebody who's going to win, Delroy Lindo, I think he could win as Delta playing Sinners. So I'm going to go with him as a prediction here. But in terms of the Best Actress role, I think I'm going to give it to Jessie. I think she's going to win in Hamnet. Best Supporting Actress, I'm just going to go with a tie here. But if I had to pick between Tiana Taylor and Ellie Fanning, I think I'm going to go with Tiana. Alright, I'll just go with that. Unfortunately, the way things are going in the Best Animated Feature Film, I don't like to bring this up, but the way things are going, because K-Pop Demon Hunters has momentum, why not? Oh my God, they're gonna perform Golden tomorrow. No! We've had enough of that song. Oh my God, no! There's that. Let's see what else, right? So, obviously, yes. So again, we're going to see Golden. Conan O'Brien's hosting again. And I think Conan did do a good job last year. Now, the sad reality of this year, remember, Wicked for Good got snubbed. So, no Wicked like last year. That's what made last year special, because Ariana Grande and Cynthia Evro did lead off last year. They're going to do a tribute to Sinners, but that's it. They're only doing 2 performances due to time constraints. So it should be a good ceremony. I will react to it next week. Now, will Adam Sandler come back out and do a skit with Conan like he did last year? Anything's possible. And I've said this for a while. Do not be surprised eventually that they're going to let Adam Sandler host. Come on. I think Adam would do a good job hosting. It would be hilarious to try to see if Adam Sandler could host the Academy Awards. I think he could. I really think if they invited Adam to do it, he would say, hell yeah, I'm going to host. Or wait, this is how Adam would say it. Oh, hell yeah, I'm going to host. That's my best Adam Sandler impersonation. All right. So Oscars will be at 7 p.m. tomorrow on ABC. It will be streaming live on Hulu. I believe if you do have the Hulu plan that's not live TV, I believe they will be streaming it on the app tomorrow or maybe somewhere on Disney Plus because they're still trying to merge the Hulu content onto Disney Plus later this year. And I think beginning with the 100th Academy Awards in 2 years from now, I think they're moving it to YouTube. So enjoy it being on ABC as much as you can because the future of the Academy Awards is going to be on YouTube. Oh boy, that'll be fun. All right. So again, 7 o'clock tomorrow on ABC, Channel 7 if you're in New York, whatever, right? So I'll react to that next week. I don't know. If Zoran does something stupid again, you know I'll react to that, right? And if anything else comes of importance, you know I'll do it next week. So, all right, everyone. That'll wrap up this episode. If you are Irish, I'd like to wish you a early, happy St. Paddy's Day for Tuesday. If you are attending the parade in New York on Tuesday, just dress warm. It's going to be very cold on Tuesday. So wear some extra layers because they're saying Tuesday it's going to feel like February again. So they're saying it's going to be 42 degrees, but with the wind chill, it's going to be like 30-something. So a happy early St. Paddy's Day. So I'll talk to you all again next Saturday. Thank you for watching. And God bless America.